What up, everybody? It's your boy Hally back again. Gvg Podcast, Detroit representing to the day that I die, east side in the building and all that good stuff. I hope you blessed. I hope this message finds you blessed. Y'all know what it is. It's GVG. It's God versus gods, the true God versus the people and things and deities that we choose to worship and put in front of him. Y'all know we drop episodes every Thursday. I get my points off the phone, then I go off the fly. Y'all ready? It's already done. So today I want to talk about the line. And I know that that's something that I say, so it's not something that everybody knows or understands. But there's something called the line. And this is simply, you know how some people draw a line in the sand? Or you know how some people talk about a gun line? Or you know how some people say there's a thin line. There is a line in our lives, in our spiritual life, in our physical life, in our relationships, in our sanity. There are lines, and they may be invisible, but they are ever present. So today we're going to talk about the line. The first thing I will say is, how many of you know about the line between success and failure? There are people in this world who start out with bright stars in their eyes, who have a rocket attached to their back, and they have nowhere to go but up. And they start out with a trajectory that is unparalleled by their family, their friends, and whoever they are around. And sometimes those lights start to dim. Sometimes what was up now becomes down. And you start to find yourself in a place of plummet, or you plateaued, or you felt like you almost had it, or you were there and something happened. And now you're further from it than when you started. Understand, people, that there is a thin line between success and failure. And this is a spiritual thing, because to others it may look like you're almost there or you're past that line. But there comes a time where you're going to have to come to terms with that line. And it's either, once I passed that line, I was successful, I made it, or once I got to that line, I didn't join the party. It's a spiritual line, people. And a lot of people who made it were for the devil. A lot of people who made it made handshakes with evil people and demons. And a lot of people who didn't make it weren't willing to compromise their beliefs or compromise their values or their belief system or anything of that nature. So they end up not making it in the business world, but they succeeded in the spiritual world. So understand why there is a thin line between success and failure. Yes, it can be hustle. It can be being in the right place at the right time, but it can also be spiritual, that the evil people will not let you pass until you become what they are. Understand this on today, people, that there is a line, and some people are willing to cross it and some people are not. But it doesn't mean that you failed spiritually. It doesn't mean that you didn't make it spiritually. You made the right decision spiritually. But physically, people will say, what happened? You were supposed to be the one. You was getting to the top. But they don't know what you had to endure, what you had to deal with just to get there. And that takes me to the line between dreams and nightmares. Because it all started as a dream. It was all a dream. Everything was laid out. All of the flowers were blooming. All of the stars and planets aligned. The sun was shining. The rain was subtle. The wind breeze was perfect. Everything moved out your way. The mountains moved. The clouds were right. And as you were skipping down that yellow brick road, eventually the thunder and lightning came. The flowers died. The sun was hidden by a cloud. And that dream turned into a nightmare. A lot of us have had very big dreams. And somewhere along the lines, the nightmare crept in. They always say the dreamers need to wake up. But sometimes when you dream, eventually that dream becomes a nightmare. And in the midst of that paralysis, you can't get up. So understand this on today, people, that there is a thin line between dreams and nightmares. Some of us started out with big hopes and big dreams and got let down. And it was so hard for us to try to come back and exist as a sane person, because that's where we put all the eggs in. We put our eggs in that basket. And when it didn't happen, it was too hard for us to cope. There were people who wanted to be in the NBA, people who wanted to be professional singers and rappers and artists, people who wanted to be the president. There were people who had dreams of just low things, being a firefighter or a policeman, and that dream didn't happen. And somewhere along the lines, that dream turned into your nightmare by it not happening. So understand this on today, people, that the thin line between dreams and nightmares exists. But just like the dream and the nightmare, you can wake up and realize that your life goes on. And a lot of us are on the edge. A lot of us are hanging by a string. This is a thin line, because it's a thin line between making it and going crazy. People don't understand your pain because most people are too busy trying to get you to understand theirs. People don't walk in your shoes because they're too busy saying that their feet hurt from walking in their own. This is the sad part about life. Most people have fake empathy. Most people don't really care what you go through because they're too busy trying to get you to care about what they're dealing with. This life throws some hard punches and twists and turns at every corner. There are so many different seasons that you have to try and adapt to. There are so many different seasons that leave you with uncertainty in your relationship, with your job, with your finances, with all of the things that you deal with in this world, with your children, your parents, et cetera, et cetera. You can name so many things. And a lot of us are trying to figure out how not to go crazy. I understand why some people are homeless, why some people are on drugs, why some people give up, because in the midst of you trying to make it and be this person, crazy is on the other line. Crazy is like your shadow. It's right there with you all the time, waiting on you to give up or to mess up or to be what it wants you to be. It's not easy being successful. It's not easy running a business. It's not easy going to a job every day. It's not easy being a parent. It's not easy being a shoulder to cry on, et cetera, et cetera. I can talk about so many things that it's not easy to be, and nobody understands that the strong person has to do so much to stay strong. And there are a lot of strong people who end up breaking because crazy is right around the corner. Insanity is right there tapping on your shoulder. All of the misfortune that you deal with, all of the problems, whether you created them or not, all of the things that are waiting for you to fail, for you to fall, for you to go crazy, for you to give up, they are ever present and they are right there along with success. The choices that we make, people. There is a grim fate behind that failure. There is a grim fate behind that insanity. And a lot of us, we don't make it to the greener pastures. Because nobody understands what you're dealing with as you're trying to make it out of the mud to the sunshine. Nobody understands the jobs that you have to work and the pain that you have to endure and the things going on with your family, the things going on inside of your house that don't give you peace. Nobody understands that you have to deal with a million things piling on your plate and you still have to be the best you can be. You still have to smile through the pain. You still have to act as if nothing is going wrong in your life. People don't know that your gas tank is on E. People don't know that you almost didn't make it. People don't know that you're still figuring out how you made it today. People don't know that you're trying to figure out how you're going to make it tomorrow. Because you are that strong person. You are that strong vessel that gives even when you don't got. You are that strong person that continues to uplift people even when you're down. People don't understand that it is a thin line between making it and going crazy. And there are a lot of people today who are in the battle of trying to make it, fighting crazy. And people don't understand that we walk on that tightrope every day. There is a tightrope that we walk on every day. And one misstep can be the end of everything. People don't understand how deep that is. One misstep on a tightrope and you fall. But in this world, we don't have the safety net. A tightrope walker can fall, but he has a safety net. So he can live to walk again. In this world, we aren't given the tools, we aren't given the monetary systems and values that other people have. So at the end of the day, if you fall, you have to start all over again. That debt that you have to take on is yours. That blemish on your record is yours. We are on a tightrope. All of the people who committed crimes, all of the people who start businesses, all of the people who start a family, all of us, we are on a tightrope. And one misstep, one mistake can lead to all of it crumbling. And some of us have hit rock bottom. And then some. In this world where the line is drawn, some of us have hit rock bottom. Some of us have lost everything. Some of us have had to start over more than once. Some of us have been homeless. Some of us were on drugs. Some of us gambled away a home or lost their family because of alcoholism. Some of us, we have really pissed away everything, as they would say. Some of us had to hit rock bottom to be able to recreate and rebuild. Some of us would never get to where we are today if we didn't hit rock bottom. Some of us had to stay in that place. Some of us had to go to the dark night to be able to see the light again. Some of us had to fall in order to get up. Because as long as you have breath in your lungs, you are able. But a lot of us, we would not have seen the light if not for the darkness. I know that there are people watching right now who have hit rock bottom or who are at rock bottom. And the tears are coming down and they don't stop. The problems don't stop. The punches don't stop. Seem like no matter what you do, nothing is right. Nothing can go right in your life. Every time you get 2 paces up, you got to go 3 paces back. Continue praying, people. Continue working on the tools. Because this world is not set up to give you tools. It's set up to keep you in a welfare mind. It's set up to keep you coming back. If you teach a man how to fish, he'll eat forever. But if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. This world was set up for us to eat for a day. It was not set up for us to eat forever. And a lot of us are one thought away from suicide, jail, cheating, failure, success, and greatness. We are one thought away. And we have to understand, people, that you get one life. And you're going to have good thoughts, who they say are of God. And you're going to have bad thoughts, who they say are of the devil. And a lot of times we are one thought away based on the circumstances, based on the things that happen in our lives, based on what didn't happen, what was said, what wasn't said, the job we didn't get, the girl we didn't get, the situations that are happening in our lives. We are one thought away. Always understand that, people, that you're always on the edge. You're always hanging on a string. You're always almost to the promised land, or you're almost to the place you don't want to be. Your life can be heaven or your life can be hell. You can choose to do good or you can choose to do the opposite. Understand that this life we lead, we're one thought away from it being good or being bad. And also understand this, people, while you're on that line, that thin line, I am right there with you. I am right there with you. I go through a lot of things. I deal with a lot of things. And I'm on that same edge as you. I'm hanging by that same string as you. I'm dealing with the same things as you. And I have to continue to pray and continue to live for my family and my friends and all the people that love me, and for the Heavenly Father. I have to understand that I'm not the only one. I can't be selfish. I have to realize that there are other people in this boat with me. And if I start making holes out of selfishness, we're all going to sink. So understand that on today, people. You got people in that boat with you. And you don't want them to spend their lives trying to patch up the holes that you put in the boat. Let's keep it going together, people. It's your boy Hally. Until next time, I love all of y'all. It's GVG. It's already done.